Hey guys, I just wanted to reach out to you and let you know that Surewinder is still selling amazing products. Some of you guys have been dragging your feet for whatever reason. If your shoulder hurts, do not waste time. Pull the trigger. I just bought 4 or 5 of them, and we had 2 guys out. You know how much it cost me to pay for 2 guys being out with bad shoulders? We just pulled the trigger and we said, listen, everybody's going to have one on a truck. It's mandatory. You got to use it. Don't hesitate. Don't wait till your guys go down. It's going to cost you more. Buy a Surewinder.
What's up, everybody? Ryan here, Torsion Talk podcast. I'm about to kick this off. Are you guys ready? Today, I have 10 things that will have you on the path to success quickly. All right, so we're going to go through these, and I believe I spent time just trying to think of the 10 most important things that I've done to help us grow and build an incredible team. We have the best team we've ever had right now, and we have people wanting to come on board, and I'm so excited. So I want to share some things that I've learned, and listen, I only know what I know right now, meaning that the only thing keeping me from being better is information I don't know, or people that can bring revelation to me so that I can learn more. And so I'm limited by my knowledge at the moment, which is why I'm so hungry to learn, which is why you're listening to this podcast, right? So number one, first and foremost, invest in yourself. This looks like reading books, having a mentor, someone you can bounce ideas off of. I think that this might be one of the most critical out of all of them. And I'll tell you why, and then I'll move on, because this is a pretty simple concept. I think a lot of garage door guys do not invest in themselves to like develop as a leader. And I'm not really sure why. Like, I think I'm surrounded by a lot of the ones that do, just because of like GDU and the podcast. But as a whole, like if you take the landscape of the garage door industry, I truly believe that most people think they're a great leader. And I would venture to say that maybe they are, but now what, right? Like, are you just going to stay at the stage that you're at? Or maybe you just suck and you don't even know it. Are you going to stay there? And so, like, I truly believe that investing in yourself is one of the most critical components of these 10 things, because the business can only grow as fast or as big as you're able to take it. So if you suck as a leader, you will not grow. And if you've hit a ceiling and you have not been able to break through for a long time, it's probably you, most likely. And I don't mean to say that in a negative way. I'm just saying this is how you fix it. Number one, invest in yourself. Number two, focus on the details so your team understands details matter. This is huge. So I'm coaching football right now, which I've probably mentioned on every podcast because I'm like in love with it. I'm having so much fun. Kirby Smart, the head coach of the greatest football team of all time, Georgia Bulldogs, and Nick Saban, both have this thing that they do where they make a big deal about kids tucking their shirts in. And then when I grew up playing football, they would make a big deal about having your helmet facing the field and, laid down properly, like you honor your helmet. Little things like that, right? And in the business world, it could be a lot of different things. It could be how clean your truck is, how organized it is, how cleanly pressed is your uniform, How groomed are you? So if we make like a really big deal about these details, the bigger things become a bigger focus. And it's kind of weird how this happens, but I've seen it in every area of my life. The more the leaders focus on the details, the more the staff does. And then the bigger things kind of take care of themselves. But it's a spirit of excellence that's required to focus on the details. And that's like every aspect of your business, putting completion notes in the job, like everything. And if you make a big deal about it, eventually they'll listen. And I do believe that attitude permeates, and people start to understand that the details do matter. So, number 1, invest in yourself. Number 2, focus on the details. Number 3, always be coaching and developing your team. So, this one's tough, right? Because a lot of business owners in the garage door industry are also working in the business, not on it. And I understand there's always a time of period that you need to do that. So I'm not really going to dive into that too much, but I genuinely believe there's a lot of different ways you could be coaching and developing your team. It doesn't necessarily have to be you all the time, 100%. I'll give you some examples, right? So we utilize David Mount a lot. We also utilize Power Selling Pros a lot for our CSRs. And David Mount for our field guys. I'm always looking for outside resources to help us develop our team. It's got to be somebody that I trust and respect. But that alone is hugely beneficial. Giving your team the idea of getting certified and what that looks like and what they need to do to accomplish that and the training they need to go through. And then I just think that like it shows effort. I'll give you an example. Yesterday, and I didn't put this on here for this. I just remembered that I did this yesterday. 9-year-old company, probably not the best use of my time, to be honest with you. But I went out in a truck with one of our newer service guys to work with him and kind of see where he's at, right? So he's been with us for a year. He's worked in every department. He got certified. He's been to David Mount, and he's been shadowing installers and doing installs. He's done some installs on his own. He's been shadowing our service guys, and he's a great employee. So we rode together, and we talked about the things that he could do better and the things that he does really well, and we kind of work through that together. But never stop coaching and developing your team, because I believe that when you do, you start to have people not focus on the details, lose interest, and then that's how your team gets recruited or they leave, right? People love to feel like they're advancing and growing. And so I think if you put an emphasis on that, so will everyone else. So number 4, live by your core values and make a big deal about them. So you got to establish core values, and you need enough to be able to tell people in your organization that they are going to be what you hire, what you fire, what you promote, and also how you make decisions within your organization. These core values need to be what you eat, sleep, breathe. You need to bring them up all the time. If someone comes to you about something, I want you to put it through your filter of core values and ask them, how would you make this decision based on our core values? Don't just answer the question, because then you're enabling them. Ask them, how would you address this based on our core values? This will change how everyone in your organization lives and makes decisions. And if you did a good job of building your core values properly, this will change your life. This will make you This will turn your entire staff into mini yous because they have to put the decisions through that filter, right? And you can coach them and develop them on this, but your core values should be a clear representation of how the company operates and the heartbeat of the company. So that's number 4. Number 5, communication with your team on a regular basis. And like, I don't know how to say this. I think I've mentioned it a bunch of times about a year ago. A couple years ago, we launched our 15-minute morning huddles. And these morning huddles have been critical to the success of our business. And I talk to other businesses and they don't have any meetings. And I know when you start introducing meetings, you get a lot of pushback. I understand that. However, if you want your team to run like a well-oiled machine, if you want to break through that glass ceiling, or let's say you don't want to break through that glass ceiling, you don't want to grow because of all the problems that you have, get everybody on the same page by having these little huddles. And in that way, you solve the little problems so that you feel comfortable growing as a business leader, right? Let's say, for example, Bobby does something in the field. Well, if you, not like a negative thing, but like just a kind of a freak thing, right? Like something happens that, there's no formal process on how to address it. So let's take a look at this and see how this would help in a meeting. We bring up the situation. We ask him to explain it in detail from his perspective. And then we ask the team, what does this look like? Like, how should we address this? And you kind of bounce it around. And then as the leader, you say, hey, here's how it would be addressed, in my opinion, based on our core values. Core value number 2 and 6 addresses these things. Boom, boom, boom. And then now the whole team learned from that one mistake instead of just one person, right? If you would have pulled them aside and just had a conversation with them, it would not everyone in the company would have learned from it. So I think that these communication platforms also are critical. So we use Slack for internal communication. We have like channels and whatever. And that works out great because you got a mobile app, you got a desktop version. And we're constantly all day communicating as a team, the field with the office with the field, management, leadership, the whole bit. So I think that constant communication has to be happening at all times. So that's communication. That's number 5.
Hey guys, I found something that changed my business and I want to share it with you. We've created packages that have included some of the best products in our industry to offer our service customers. The heart of that package is Stealth Hardware Kit. Stealth Hardware is the quietest hinges on the market. I challenge you to buy at least one of these, test it for yourself. Put it on your truck and design a quiet performance package for your customers willing to pay for a better, smoother running door. Buy your Stealth Hardware Kit at Service Spring, do a search for quiet hinge, and then buy that. You can buy a double or single door, 7 or 8 foot tall, and promise you, it'll change your service forever.
Somer USA and Somer Group want to thank you for an incredible year and the trust you put in them and their products. As you know, Somer places high value on relationships, education, customer service, innovation, and professionalism. And they are grateful to you for your part in the fostering and dissemination of these values. If there is any way Somer can support you in your journey, whether through their products, the values they hold to, or the knowledge Somer has gained through interaction with door dealers across the world, please reach out to the team at your convenience. They are here to serve you. Again, thank you from the entire Somer team. Check them out at somerusa.com. Tell them Ryan sent you.
Number 6, accountability for everything quickly. And I put quickly in there because I think that's important. As business leaders, sometimes we have so many things going on that when something happens that we don't like or we know needs to be addressed, a lot of times we'll put it off because we're busy or stressed or whatever. We have to address issues quickly, regardless of how you feel. If you're a non-confrontational leader, you have to find a way to be able to address these things so where you feel comfortable. Or maybe you just need to stay uncomfortable and do it. But I'm telling you, if you do not create accountability and address things quickly, people will walk all over you. And then you're not going to enjoy your life. You're not going to enjoy your business. You don't want to grow. It's very frustrating, right? So you may have a good staff, but a lack of accountability will make them bad. Also, a lack of accountability, then implementing accountability could create turnover in your staff. So be aware, it's better to just hit it head on now and deal with accountability and have a business that you love to go to rather than a bunch of people running around acting crazy, doing whatever they want, and you're not able to manage the level of quality being put out, right? Or interactions within the team or whatever, right? So accountability for everyone and everything quickly. Number 7, effective marketing. Now, this is really important that I touch on a few things here. I see a couple things just because I got a marketing agency and a door company that are have changed a lot, but also some things that are frustrating from a marketing agency perspective. There's a lot of people that'll come to us and they'll say, "Oh, I want SEO," and we will sign them up. We will set the expectations, and then we'll get a lot of frustration around month 3, right? When I say we'll start getting results in 3 to 6 months, which is pretty spectacular if you think about it, like in my opinion with SEO. SEO's never changed more than it's changing right now. It's never been more difficult. There's never been more people investing into it. And there's also probably never been more people like switching companies than I'm seeing right now, which is interesting. We're getting a lot of people trying to leave their agency. We got people that have left us. And the funny part about some of this is like some of these people are leaving like as they're starting to get results, or like they are getting incredible results and it's kicking. And then I see them leave and they don't end up taking our code off of the site for tracking. And then you just see like everything tank. What I would tell you is like, especially like if you haven't been doing SEO and you want to start doing SEO and you're in a competitive landscape, the idea that you could start getting results in 3 to 6 months is pretty spectacular because there's companies in your area, probably a lot of them, who have been investing thousands of dollars a month for years in SEO. So the idea that you're just going to come in and dominate in a few months is not how that works, right? Like there are ways to do things. There are companies out there that will guarantee results, and I've seen some of those that are like doing it the right way, but few and far between if they're guaranteeing results. If they're guaranteeing results, a lot of times they're doing black hat, which you got to be really careful of because you could be kicked out of Google. So that's a problem, right? But SEO should be very much the foundation of your marketing campaign, your digital marketing campaign, at least. Pay-per-click, I think, I've kind of dogged pay-per-click, especially AdWords over the years. And I'll tell you why. I feel like Google capitalized pretty big on companies on pay-per-click on AdWords. And you can, like, you got Bing, which is way underrated. I think you should be advertising on Bing as well. We're starting to shift a lot of our clients to Bing, or at least open up accounts for them and try to manage their Bing ads. It's not nearly the volume, and sometimes not even worth the effort to a degree until we get a little bit further down the road. We've optimized where 95% of the people are. But when we talk about pay-per-click, it's never going to get cheaper. Pay-per-click doesn't get cheaper, but you can optimize the campaign to get the cost down. And I will tell you that we let someone go in our organization, so I've taken over all the AdWords for Markenuity. And I'm blown away by how quick I can get results with a few settings changes. And the Performance Max campaigns are money, like money. So here's what I would tell you. First of all, any pay-per-click campaign that you do on AdWords should be set up to pay by conversion, meaning phone call, really, form leads. So you want to try to have whomever calls you that charges you money instead of paying per click or whatever. You want the phone to ring, you want leads. And so that's how you should measure your pay-per-click company. So over the last year, we've kind of been converting everybody over to conversion and Performance Max because it's fairly new. Performance Max is, but I am blown away by the results. Like, really good. So if you're not doing AdWords Performance Max ads, you should check those out. Also, reputation management. I believe that this is one of the most underrated, kind of like SEO. It's very underrated, but it's one of those things that compound on itself. Strongly suggest that you do as much as you possibly can to get your reputation up and get as many reviews as you possibly can. Don't get mad at bad reviews. Handle it well. Understand that when you reply, everyone's going to read it. And so you want to be empathetic. You want to be understanding. You don't want to take all the blame and put it on your customer. So there's a lot that goes on there, but I've addressed some of that stuff in the past. But marketing is number 7. Number 8, build your brand and marketing strategy off your ideal customer. Too many people have a blanket marketing campaign or a blanket marketing focus without any ideal customer in mind. Right? So this is not how you have a successful marketing strategy. You need to know who the customer is that you're trying to reach, and then you need to focus on trying to get in front of them. And that includes your brand. So I just think that should be from A to Z. Everything you do needs to be, would this attract my avatar of customer that I'm trying to attract? Number 9, know your financials and have someone to hold you accountable. So I think a lot of people in the door industry don't know their financials very well. I see this a lot, especially with smaller companies, even with some of the bigger ones. I've seen people in the multi-millions that really don't know how to read financial statements. I know this is not my strength, but I know how to read them, right? And then I have people that I can call and go through them. And then I even have people who will tell me, hey, you're low in this area, you're high in this area, you're doing well in this area. So you should have those people in your life, and you need to understand your financials early so that you can manage them and know how to make decisions based off of them. This should be part of your decision-making process when you are doing things, investing in your business, whatever. Number 10, take time off or away from the business to spend time casting vision and being creative. What do I mean by this? Listen, some of the best ideas I've had is when I took off work and went on vacation. I have so many people tell me, man, I can't afford to take off. You can afford not to take off. Guys, if you are a business owner, you are going to drown in all the work. It will still be there when you get back. I promise you, this is one of the, and this could be equal to number one, right? Invest in yourself. But if you don't take time away from the business to vision cast, to rest, to get your mental state right, to rejuvenate your mind and your heart towards your business, every time I've gone on vacation, something great has happened. And not only that, I have clarity when I get back. You get so far in the weeds and you're so in it that you can't see from a high view sometimes. So, number 10, last and final, take time off or away from your business to spend time casting vision and being creative. This includes vacation, where you don't go to focus on your business, but you should take vacations. You should take time off. And then there's workations. You got things like we're going to Puerto Rico in March. This is where you go enjoy the beach, take your wife, have some drinks, stay at the pool, go to sessions, hang out with a bunch of door guys, get a gazillion ideas that you can implement over a few years. That one investment can help you out for 2 to 3 years, even if you never go to another one again. That's great. I know Tommy has Garage Door Freedom. He sometimes puts those in places where you would want to go on vacation. Like, you could do those, or you could just say, hey, you know what? I don't want to do anything with doors. My wife doesn't want to do anything with doors. We don't want to be around door people when we're on vacation. That's fine. Go on vacation, just you and her or whatever. Mission trips where you go and invest in other people, I think is a great way to disconnect and really come back appreciating your position, right? Because a lot of things are perspective. And if it's hard for us to break away, it's hard for us to get perspective. So listen, I love you guys. I really appreciate you guys following the podcast. I want you guys to grow and to have a healthy business. And most importantly, have good mental health, emotional and physical. And the only way you're going to do that is to really invest in yourself and follow this script. These top 10 things I think have helped my business the most and helped give me mental clarity, emotional clarity. And now I'm fighting really hard to find time to have physical health. And so that's what I'm working on. I got to try to find time for physical health. And so I think if you do these 10 things, you will grow your business the right way. And that's what I want for you. Torsion Talk. I'm out.